great afternoon for all of you. I'm sure you would be knowing everything I would be talking today because we're all faculties, and I'm sure that all of us are having the knowledge of things. Here, I would keep it, uh, more of examples from what I have gone through in my journey of teaching career, and what is that I have as an experience to share. Because otherwise, I'm sure that all of you are aware of what we would be talking in this case. And I would request, if there is any queries, please note it down, as well as feel free to stop me anywhere and then make ask questions, and so that we can discuss. It becomes a healthy conversation altogether, and it's going to be informative for others as well. Yep. So going ahead. So this is something which is very, very great quote by Helen Keller. And this is something which is resonating for all of them who wants to be the person who wants to do so much in life. Like all of us being in academics, we have so much things to do here. We have been evaluated based on not only teaching, but we have a lot many other roles to play as a mentors to students. And probably we are also we are also expected to do a lot of research, collaborations, patents, papers, consultancy. So when we have to do more, obviously we can't do it alone, right? So we need to have a team with us, a core team of whom we are comfortable and whom can complement each other's talent and knowledge, because of which as a faculties, we know, like, one person is very teaching, and so they work a lot on innovative teaching skills, different ICT. Somebody would be very good at knowing that, and there will be a person who's a doctorate, and he or she knows a lot many things about research, different publication journals and conference where they have attended, and they can give you the knowledge on that. So there can be young team members in your faculty members in your team, where they would be very tech savvy to know a lot of tools, technologies, and they can come up with many other ideas, or they get to talk to a lot many students in a very easy way, and then they with new ideas and innovations. So having a diverse team with you would actually build foster that team building, because of which all of us can do so much together, right? So this is on team building. And the other topic which we are talking about is going to be uh, human resource management. So we would think that I'm a faculty. Am I really supposed to do human resource management? This is a wrong notion of only HR should manage humans. It's all, we as faculties are humans. So the resources around us are also human resources, as in it can be students, it can be members, faculties, your the higher ups, or even the subordinates. All of them are human resources. So it's not only a job of a HR, it's also our responsibility to manage all of these resources around us in academia. So in the quote which inspires me: building a successful academic institution requires nurturing not just minds, but also the hearts and well-being of its faculty and staff. So it is not only on us, it's also on the the institutions, the universities who are having us as faculties. So it should be igniting it, the minds as well as the hearts, as in they also should have an emotional quotient which will help us grow together. As the faculties grow, obviously the institution as well grow, because when the quality of the faculty is high, obviously you can expect a uh, lot of the quality getting imparted to the students, because of which the quality of students increase. And again, it's a kind of a cycle. Because of the students, the placement will be good, and because of the placement, there will be new good students coming in, right? So and as and when the students quality increase, there's always a need for the increase in the teaching faculty's quality. So in this way, the cycle keeps repeating. So these two are the important topics which actually gets neglected in the field of academia, because we think that uh, we can do things individually, but no, it is required to have the team. So what's the agenda for today? We're going to talk or touch in small details about these topics. As I told you, there is nothing very much new on what I'm speaking. So it's going to be based on what we do or practice in our college, another college which I have been, and then different other colleges, what kind of policies or things which I have seen people doing, right? So that is what I will be talking about. So the first one is understanding team dynamics in academic environments. Now, see, in our college, what happens basically is we have something called as a staff appraisal, which happens every month. And on every month, the previous year performance will be measured, and there will be a goal set for each one of us. So, what is it expected out of us? What is like, let's say, there is a person who is not registered for PhD. So, trying to find out why not registered, and since it is becoming a norm that all of the faculties in the higher educations are doing a PhD, they encourage doing that. And if you have done kind of a good paper in a different kind of UGC journals and all of that, they are going to suggest something else, probably Q1, Q2, Q4, ABC journals. So depending on what they can set up as a goal, each faculty, their goals will be set. And then clarify the roles. So as faculties, we are not only into teaching. So kind of appraisal there, we know what kind, or even otherwise, there are different roles. As an NBA coordinator, there are different sub criteria in which each of our faculties are a part of. So what exactly are you looking for, right? What exactly you're responsible for. Whenever you know that part, being in a team, working in a team becomes easier. And all of these files which we will be managing, like for NAC or NDA, it's not going to happen only by one person, right? So like if it is criteria 5 for faculty and retention, so you need to have so many different files under that to support that particular criteria. So all of the other faculty who's been assigned different criteria come together to work for building up that file and showcasing that one the committee when they come. So basically, the clarity of what am I supposed to do, if that is not there, then the team will never be a team. We keep complaining. We are not sure what to do. We start complaining about our higher ups, and that is going to happen if we don't have the clarity. So the first part is to have a proper clarity on what role I'm supposed to do. And the next one is encourage communication. So here, each of the team members, there would be a team leader, obviously, for any collaborations and other things. So you have to be open in giving the ideas or the kind of initiatives which you want to take, or whatever the communication should be open so that anybody subordinate or higher up, there should not be any hiccups between speaking, or there should not be any ego clashes or emotions which will stop you from sharing the ideas which you have. So there should be communication for the team to be uh, dynamic and enough to do a kind of attain a particular role which the team has to play. Promote collaboration. uh, when I tell collaboration for the projects or research or even for teaching methodologies, collaboration is always a part of it. What we do for teaching, I'll tell you. On we are a team of 4, so where we all take the same kind of subject for now, right? A second semester IoT subject. So what we do is it's a very introductive stage of IoT. It's just introduction to IoT. So it is very boring to just teach them theory. So what we have done is we have divided our work in such a way that one of us is going to prepare a presentation. The second one is going to prepare some kind of materials for them to learn from. The other one are going to develop some kind of quizzes and other innovative methodologies to come up with making that particular module very easy for them to understand, and some kind of assessment tools like quiz, crossword, flashcards, and different other kind of methodologies for which is going to assess them, or even kind of revision for that matter. And some of them is going to send a mind map. Some of them are going to define outcomes, program outcomes, course outcomes, and all of that. So and some of the others will be responsible enough to do a question paper and scheme. And this thing is happening because we have a WhatsApp group, and it's all instantaneous. And also we have CMS and other tools in place where we collaborate, and we are going to distribute our work, share our work, so that our work becomes easier. Yeah, so this is one example. Provide support, offer support to, and resources to facilitate teamwork. So support, as in our college for that matter, there is there are different research teams which who informally kind of become a team, and they work towards getting funds, getting the you know paper done in a very good journal or in a conference. Any conference, there will be a part of a share from the college which will be sponsored by them. So this is the kind of support which a management can give to support this kind of team activities where the whole team gets benefited out of. Then celebrate success, recognition, and celebrate team achievements. So what we basically do is, it's going to be ours is an easy department, so we do short kind of treats whenever there is some kind of achievements, or even if there is a person who finished off his or her PhD, we go for an outing for having a lunch. Or if there is a person, or if there is a fund which we have got, or if we have finished NB or a NAC very successfully, we have something called as potluck, where we bring our foods from our house and we collaborate, right? So all of these are something which is going to, like, when we celebrate, we sit together, at least laugh for some time, you make some connections, and that is something which is very, very important for for you to make a team. Yeah. Now the next one is the role of HR in academic institutions. What I mean, probably not all companies or not all colleges would have HR. So if there is a team which is going to recruit you or who's going to take care of all of the faculties, what is the, you know, role in all of this HODs or principal or director? So faculty recruitment and retention, obviously, it's a very important thing because when you recruit, there is a process. In our college there is a process, and in another college which I was working, literally there was 7 rounds of interview. So it didn't only check if I had a PhD. That's a great thing. I actually thank my first college which I joined. This college actually checked first with my written test. Next, they checked with respect to, the uh, demo which I gave, and then there would be a viva. And this had happened twice because I was recruited for a CS department there. So HOD from EC and then the HOD from CS took a second round of interview on demo as well as a viva. Then was an HR round where they discussed about the package and other things, and then there was a last chairman interview. Yeah, finally discussing on to should we really take this girl who is fresh up. And then because I had some of the experience teaching in tutorials, I could get this job. So why am I telling this procedure? Is because just because somebody have a doctorate or just because their papers are great, you can't just take out faculty, because you also have to see how they teach, because that is the main job which will be contributed to the students who are the part of the institution. So having some efforts put to recruit a right faculty would be a great thing. And then retention, obviously, if there is a great faculty in your college, you should be doing everything to keep the top academic talent with you, which is going to be both teaching as well as the research part. Yeah. And professional development, uh, a- you as a HR, it HR or higher ups, it's the duty of all of the higher ups to foster the development of a faculty professionally. So, what does it mean when we tell professionally? Once it is doctorate, is it over? No, you will have funds, you will have papers, you will have publications, and then you will have consultancies. Is that all? No. Again, there would be collaborations with different other academia and other universities abroad, right? Probably the next would be postdoc. The next would be getting your students there in that platform. I mean, where they are going to be working in different or you know lifting up your students to a different higher level. So there is a never end of how can a faculty develop in their professional field. So there is that has to be always continuously monitored. Employee relation, managing conflicts and fostering a positive environment. So what is it basically? So if there is, okay, let me quote that there was a faculty A and the faculty B. These both have just got into a conflict with no reason altogether, just an ego clash, and then there is a conflict which is happening. So, what is that they do for team building? The HR is going to be responsible enough, or I mean, should be responsible enough for giving a positive environment for them both to discuss their points and come to a final grounds, so that they are going to have some kind of positive environment, and then when the next time they meet they don't have any clashes to handle, right? So that can be maintained by having a proper employee relations. Policy development and compliance, if at all, if the first point has to be met, a proper policy in place ensuring everyone's health, or or a kind of a policy for every person or every faculty, irrespective of their career or irrespective of when they have joined. If that is in place, then your faculties will not leave you, right? So this is something which is to be taken care by the head charts. The third point which I was wanting to discuss is cultivating a culture of research and innovation. Now, it's very difficult even for me to accept that research and innovation was important. It took me a lot, many years, even after being in a teaching profession, because we think as teachers our main preliminary job is to teach. Now the question comes, why to research and innovate? That is very much required, because it's going to uh, you know have a very greater impact in our lives. So let me give you an example in this case. Uh, the research, for that matter, initially, if there is a IoT as a subject, what we would do basically is refer to books, whatever is listed as an example there, or whatever is being quoted by the author, the same thing we would be teaching in class. Now, because of research, because of thanks to AI, that we have a lot of AI technologies, because of which we have a lot many tools like Perplexity .ai and Blackbox.ai for codes, Chat GPTs, and Claude, Gemini. So all of these tools have helped us our research to be better and easy. So if it, I mean, very recently I was searching for, writing a particular mm, book. So I just was searching for, the future of IoT. I was so perplexed, or I was so happy to see that there is a lot much more research which is going on IoT, green IoT, which we have never heard of, and which is not there in the books, which I have been teaching, right? And there are a lot many other technologies or terminologies which is not there in the book. And as soon as I saw this paper written on green IoT, I was very curious to know what it is. And after reading through, I got a lot many examples to quote in the class, because of which it helped me gain the confidence that this teacher is teaching something which is current right now going on in the industry, right? So this is the importance of research. This is, it makes the class which you go more relevant to the current field, right? And this is what makes you unique than the other faculties who are not doing it in their field. So, and what about innovation? Innovation is required for you to do projects, get funds, and other things. Now, innovation is a altogether a new topic, but again, this is very much important for every faculty to have. And again, can we do it alone? Not really all the time. We have to have a team where, if there is a team doing this, we will be motivated enough to be in track of being in the research and doing innovations. Yeah. So again, encourage collaboration. And when we tell collaboration, it's not only disciplinary. What do you mean by interdisciplinary partnerships? Any answers, please? What does interdisciplinary partnerships mean? Uh, Other question is, what is the difference between interdisciplinary and cross-departmental? Any ideas? Ma'am, anything on the chat?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's not that difficult. You can make a guess or a try. When we tell discipline, there are different, in the department itself, we have lot many subjects. For example, in electronics and communication, there is embedded system, there is VLSI, and there is communications, and there is control systems, there is robotics, there is IoT. So IoT is a part of embedded system. So there is different topics which is coming under, or disciplines which is coming under. So what you as a research aspirant can do is find both of them, and then try and see if there is something which you can collaborate and do, right? And what about cross departmental is, uh, see us collaborating with ECE, or some other mechanical getting collaborated with CSE. So why is it required? Is because we totally have a different set of knowledge altogether. Now let me give you an example of cross departmental initiatives. uh, we I mean, sorry, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can continue, ma'am.
Okay. So cross departmental, when I was giving an example, EC department has got collaborated with a mechanical department for a reason that they wanted uh, us to teach part of Internet of Things to their students, mechanical. Um, but the problem is, right now, none of the faculties of ME, mechanical department, have studied this topic altogether called as Internet of Things. So, but they can't just be that, right? Because the curriculum is continuously changing, and there is no faculty there to teach this. So what they did was, they invited two of the faculties from our department. So me and my friend had gone there for a workshop which we did on IoT using ESP32. So this is how you can do a cross departmental initiatives and do some kind of um, other research work also. In research, we have collaborated with the CSE department faculties to do a project on healthcare, which involves IoT again. Yeah. So this is how you can do a cross departmental uh, collaborations for research. And yeah, like you can have or you can ask for from your higher ups to give you the kind of support for research grants, facilities like libraries, or even softwares, professional development if there is any courses which you want to do, so that some kind of skill enhancement which you want to do can be done using I mean, can be done by asking help from your higher ups, or if there are higher ups, they are supposed to be helping them getting this. Recognize and award innovations. This is again, as I told, it's very, very important. So what is being practiced in our college is that every year after the self-appraisal, depending on the marks they get out of 100, there are different variables and different parameters involved, and marks involved for different criterias. So based on the marks they get, they're going to be awarded in front of the whole in the auditorium of in front of all the faculties as well as all the students, because of which they feel motivated enough, and also the people who could not get that award and recognition will want to have it. And the other incentives is from the next years to come, Based on the performance, there is going to be the the salary hikes is going to be uh, based on whatever points we would be getting in self appraisal. So this is also very very important, because and also the recognition of the patent holders is also being done in our college. They give a kind of a cash amount, and as well as recognize them in the whole when there are faculties and students. So that's a great thing which can be done and implemented as well. This is an important part of having faculty engagement and well-being. Now, anything said and done, there's a lot of pressure and stress when we tell that we have to do that, this, that. When I tell this, that, it is, it's patent, consultancy, projects, uh, the publications. So having a work-life balance, kind of workshops or even FDPs to manage stress and improve on their professional development would be a great thing. And some remote work arrangements, like if at all, flexible scheduling options. If this is suggestion for all of the academia, because right now I know in India there is a very less amount of flexibility in the schedules available. So if at all there can be some kind of arrangements done, and for the flexible scheduling and some kind of remote work, in case of if there are no classes and you want to take a remote work on that day and still work, probably want to manage your kid that day, or you don't have a spouse on the same day, or any other help which is there at home is not available that day, and you want to work remotely, that should be allowed. And right now I understand it's not, but then it can happen. Professional development, access to workshops and seminars, mentoring programs for career growth, as I've already mentioned this. Recognition and appreciation is going to ensure that faculties are engaged. And it's not only annual awards, it's also kind of repeated uh, feedback which you get from your HOD, or if you're a HOD, or if you have some kind of subordinates or friends or teams, meeting them and getting a peer kind of guidance on how can we do better is also going to improve the well-being of the faculties. So getting a proper communication and regular checks on how we are doing, whatever we are doing, are we going in a right track or not? Okay, this would really help. And there's something also called as 360-degree feedback. What does it mean is, you get a feedback from uh, you know your subordinates, your higher ups, your students, all over feedback, and that gets evaluated, and that's give you a proper reality check on are we on the right track. Wellness programs, as I've already told, in our college we have fitness, we have yoga will be organized for faculties as well. And there is meditation session and a counseling sessions. A separate counselor altogether is there for both students as well as faculties. So there are there are different clubs which faculties are a part of. There are adventure club, there is a wellness club for all of the members, even faculties as well as students. So this kind of clubs and other services is going to help reduce our stress, right? And recently we had a event called as Cycle Street, where almost around 1,500 plus faculty, students, and other people participated in this particular event. So events like this will make us more close. And there are events like Family Day, there where we can bring our our children and spouse to the events. And there are many events on technical as well as non-technical, where are cultural events and all of that. So these kind of activities will actually ensure that the faculty well-being is taken care, and they do mingle or be with other department people, and then they uh, are socially being together to improve their own interests and hobbies. Yeah. So this is about faculty engagement and well-being, enhancing team building among faculty members. How do we, how do we actually ensure the team is being built? So, a few years before, we've all been in our college, we've all been asked to write in which particular topic or which particular area we want to be working under, right? And based on that, the senior professor there would be a mentor, and all of the others would be the mentees, where we were being assigned, so that all of us as a team would work and contribute to any patent or a paper. So the collaboration would be fruitful enough to get a paper or a patent, any other collaboration with any industries. Yeah, so this is and also as a senior faculty, they would have more experience on having being in that field, and research would actually help the juniors grow in that particular field, right? Promote shared goals. So basically, if you, all of us, being NAC accredited or NBA accredited, we know that we all have some kind of objectives and outcomes for any program. So we have to first define what is that we are going to do, and then align our efforts, every person ka effort, on to achieving that departmental objectives or institutional vision. Yeah. And foster inclusivity. What do you mean by inclusivity? Is that you should not have, as a team, it should be ensuring that every person in the team is being involved, and they've been there can be, it can, if I'm a team of EC, then the whole person under that as a member is responsible enough and answerable enough to any problem which the ECE team faces. ECE is electronics and communication. So inclusive, again, there might be from different states, there might be of different caste, religion. All of that should not be a part of making a team building efforts. And based on their ability and the responsibility, you are supposed to distribute the work wanting to deliver in the next projects to come, right? So basically, don't exclude anyone in a team, include everyone to do a common goal. The next thing is provide training and resources, offer workshops on team dynamics and collaboration. For example, in BNM, we right now are going through, there is an academy called as Leadership Academy, and I'm part of it. Leadership Academy was with a goal that we want to have faculties going to other colleges to deliver talks on technical and non-technical topics. So this based on that, we are 20 of us in our team, and we've been lucky enough to have a very, very energetic team leader who's a dean of academics in our college, Professor Ishwa Mane. So he has been encouraging us and supporting us to do courses from different other faculties or different other resource persons. And we've also been having an opportunity to do a course from Harvard Square on leadership or for academy, right? So this is something which, and there are different tools like CMS and other things which is used for doing our work. Like mainly we right now collaborate and do some tasks. So there, it's in parallel run that we also want to publish paper now based on the research or based on the courses which we have taken in the academy. So this is how training and resources would help us develop as faculty members. Facilitate feedback mechanism, establish channels for constructive feedback. I've talked about this. So what do I mean by telling constructive is, see, there is always a way to tell a person how to improve. You need not have to shame them. You need not have to tell them that they did bad in a very awkward way, right? So there is always a way in which there's a faculty there in front of you. If you have to tell them that there is something wrong which is going on and you want them to improve on something, it's always a method of making them sit, ask them why it is not happening, and how how you as a person can help the other to go up or build the thing whatever they are trying to accomplish, right? So having that kind of constructive feedback is important. And as an individual, as a faculty, we need to seek such kind of feedback from people who really are going to give you a clear cut feedback on how can you improve, and reflecting on these okay, yeah, this person has told me this thing, is it right or not? Or you need not have to just jump into a conclusion, this person just told me to improve on this, am I not that, am I not done this, I have been doing all this all my teaching career. Or instead of just complaining, just sit for a while and think, why did this person tell me to do this? What can I do differently next time so that this person is not going to tell me the same thing? Yeah. So this is going to help you reflect on the and reflect on the previous thing and improve on those topics. Lead by example. Now, demonstrate teamwork and collaboration in the leadership roles. When we want, our students to be on time or our students to take up initiatives, if we don't take it, obviously you can't expect the same thing to be done by your students. So similarly, as team leaders, or as a department head, or as a part of a small team, you have to start leading by example. If you want your team members to do a paper, give them a framework, sit with them, do use whatever it takes, use your tools to ensure that everything is in place. Any conflict among your team members, resolve it, communicate who has to do what work, so that there is a proper clarity onto what we have to do, right? So for taking up an example for this is one of our teacher who is actually more experienced than us, she literally sits with us with the pen and paper, the laptop, the thing which is required. And she tells, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you will be you will be doing. We will come back that day at this time. Then we will finish that, go back, and then do that work. Right? So because of which, if there are projects and other things, it can get done very easily when we do it in team. Yeah. So this is one of the examples. Now, the quote here is effective communication lays the foundation and collaboration builds the structure of a strong team. So, communication is the key, people, because if the communication, when I tell communication, it's not about English, it's totally not about English. It's about the emotions which flows as words when you speak or write. So ensure that all of this, when you, even being a peer member or even being on a higher up, so or being a HR for that matter, you need to communicate well. When I tell communicate, figure out whatever you have told has been understood by the other person correctly. So tell them to paraphrase or summarize, or tell them to repeat, or ask them, did you get what I told you, or do you understand your roles, right? And then encourage active engagement. Don't keep things monologue. When it is monologue, you show it as an authority. People don't like authority. When you are an authoritative leader or a team member, people don't want to listen to you, right? Because they feel something is getting imposed. So you are supposed to encourage active engagement, include everyone, and then ensure that everybody have to put in their ideas and efforts onto getting things done. Training workshops, collaboration tools. I'm coming up with collaboration tools. As I told you, some workshops, we have gone through a lot of workshops which comes on different innovative teaching methodologies, to technical parts like IoT, embedded system, Raspberry Pi. So technology, as well as some part of efforts onto building teams, where we have done a lot of activity. We've actually gone out to a farm called as Big Barn, where we have come across different physical activities. It's not like kabaddi, volleyball, uh, and all of that. It's actually team building activities. The responsibility, we have learned team building and the other things, doing some kind of activities collaboratively with all the faculties. So it was an outing which we went, from morning till evening. We've been together doing only the activities in the field, on the field, on the ground, on the hot sun. Yeah, we were there as the teams. We were competing and we wanted to get results. So there we see who is a leader, who can lead, who can take up responsibility, who can just follow what you're telling, who don't even care. So all of these characteristics comes into picture, and then you address each characters, each you know each of these things you can address and then tell how they can improve. Yeah, so training workshops really helps. Fostering feedback, constructive continuous improvement, yeah, is all up to you by doing communication. So these are some of the collaborative tools I've just listed up. uh, some of them you already know. You can just take a screenshot. I'll just leave it here, because email, there are many. No, you can have companies or college email ID, or even Gmails and other things. Instant messaging, you obviously WhatsApp stands on top, but other than that, you have Slack and Microsoft Teams. So these are all some of the tools which you can use to manage being having to do some collaborative work, even though you are apart, where you can't meet all together right now. I totally understand, because we have an offline class for this leadership academy, which I told you. And leadership academy is across our college. Every department faculties are supposed to be are a part of this. So to put all the 20 people at one time is totally a difficult task. So whenever we have offline, we have seen a lot of problems which pops up. There are too many things going on, different semesters going on because of COVID. There's a mismatch in the timelines of different semesters. So getting all of the faculties together as a team in offline mode is a difficult task right now. So you can try up all of these tools offline to do some collaborative activities. I mean, to collaborate together. The other way of managing or having some kind of teams is doing project-based learning and research collaborations. As I already told you before, interdisciplinary projects would really help you enlarge or expand your knowledge, as well as learn something new from the experts from the expert from other department. Yeah. So interdisciplinary projects and the, their diverse perspectives will really help in doing a different project altogether. Now let me tell you one example where we did a kind of interdisciplinary, where yoga, we wanted to integrate yoga onto an app, right? So we have a yoga instructor in our college, so we collaborated with yoga instructor to where he has some kind of other methods where he can solve some of the issues of humans, general problems. So we collaborated with him to come up with an app which uses the techniques or a kind of interface for anyone to use it, and some part of IoT was also involved. So wherein collaboration can be so different that you can also collaborate with an art teacher and still do something technical. Yeah. So collaboration is the key, as I've already told you, and take up a project by project. What do I mean by that? Or you have a separate team for one project and another separate team for another. It's totally okay. But when you are taken up the project, learning the whole about your project is something which is going to be very important. When I tell team building, a team is doing one thing separately, but as a team member, it's your responsibility to know everything about that particular project which you're trying to do. Yeah. And the other thing is student-led projects. Most of the thing right now, all because the information is available, the codes are available, the data is available online, they learn very faster than you, and because of the time which they have, basically. We faculties probably are held up even other than the academics. We also have a family to look after, right? So students have a better hand on that. So collaborating even with the students would be a great thing to do projects. uh, so industry partnership, whenever we are guiding some projects, we can guiding students, we can also take their help onto getting some papers and other things done. Industry partnership, some of the industries are giving up some of the projects for faculties to work on, right? So partnering with them is a great thought. Grant funded research. So there are different agencies which grant funds like DST, VGST, BIRAC, and other different opportunities which are available for getting grants. So based on the grant, we can also do some kind of research by collaborating with primary investigators or co-primary investigators, and some of the students would really help. Community engagement projects. Now, this is something which is very close to my heart. Now, any project which we do, if we are a team working on a project which is used by only very few of the people, then it is of no use, right? So always come up with some of the global issues which is going to be a threat, and partner with different communities like NGOs and other things, and start doing projects for them. It's going to give you a kind of satisfaction, as well as going to help you build, going to help them as well, right? So, as an NCC officer, we've been collaborated with a lot many NGOs where we send students as well as go do some kind of soft skill training for all the government school students nearby. We've donated books, we've donated old clothes to the institution. So there can be projects or some things which you can take up so that it's going to help the community as well, right? And I always tell my students to come up with SDGs, uh, sustainable development goals defined by United Nations. So this is going to help students know what are the real issues the overall world is facing, and what are the goal which we are trying to achieve to make our you know to develop sustainably. Yeah, so sustainable development goals, SDGs, are something which we want, which we have to address from our projects. Virtual collaborations, uh, I've told you some of the collaborative tools, so we can use all of that. Something which social media can also be something which can leverage your profile. So it could be Instagram, YouTube channels which you can start off collaboratively, or you can also do some kind of courses, or design a course which can be put into different MOOC platforms like NPTEL, Coursera and other places. Then this can happen over across the world. Like, you can have the collaboration across the world because of the LinkedIn. You can collaborate with the different people of your same interest using LinkedIn, and then have collaborations and teams. Continuous feedback, this would be the last one. So continuous feedback and improvement. As I've told you, constructive and scheduled assessments like annual basis would be the real help, because we know how much we have done and how much more to be done. Yeah, peer feedback. When I tell that, it is depending on the feedback which you get from your own faculties and your own subordinates, or like faculties and your higher ups, right? And the student feedback, like all of the student feedback on how we teach, and is our object course outcome met, and all of that, and how they have performed in their tests, or test, or even their SEE SEMEN exams would give us a proper feedback on how better we can work as a team. Professional growth, developmental opportunities and skill enhancement. As I've told you, the HR can give all of these opportunities for the faculties to grow, and to do some kind of course which they are interested in, some kind other uh, skill development uh, goals which they have, that can be met, and this would be fostered, right? So that's it from my side. We've come to an end for team building and human resource management. If there are any queries, I would be happy to answer that. Thank you so much for your patient listening.